When I first stepped in front of a group as a trainer, after years of working as a performer, I had assumed the transition would be pretty smooth. I'd already spent much of my adult life acting on screen and voicing ad campaigns. I thought, I understand presence, delivery, energy. I know how to hold a room. I know how to shape a message, use my voice and physicality for impact. But the first time I stood in front of a corporate group to coach, my heart was racing. My throat tightened, my thoughts scrambled. And that wasn't just a one-off moment. It actually took me years to work through those nerves. I tried all kinds of techniques and tweaks, took time away from coaching at one point in time, convinced myself that maybe I just wasn't cut out for it. What I didn't realize back then was that the friction I was feeling, the gap between what I knew and how I was coming across, that would become the foundation of a lot of what I do these days. And here's the thing, that same friction, I see it all the time. I've been privileged enough to work with leaders from boardrooms in Dublin, Singapore, worked with teams at Google, YouTube, Citibank, Commonwealth Bank and beyond. Different industries, different cultures, a lot of the same quiet frustration. I know my stuff, so why isn't it landing? And most of the time, I can tell you it's not about the content. The real tension is between the intent and impact, between what you mean to communicate and what your audience actually hears and experiences. That's the gap. And that's the space where I do my best work. Here's what I've learned through experience, through missteps, through coaching thousands of people over the years. Strong communication isn't about being loud or perfectly polished. It's actually about alignment. When your message, your delivery, and your presence are all pulling you and your audience in the same direction. You don't just sound confident, you sound like yourself. That's what people trust. That's what lands. So if this sounds familiar, if you've ever walked away from a meeting or a presentation thinking, I know I had more to offer than what came across, you are not alone. It's not a flaw. It's just a sign that something is out of sync. And there is another way to approach this, one that starts with who you already are. If you're curious about what that shift might look like, you are welcome to explore some of my self-paced resources I've created, or please reach out. I'm always happy to connect. We've got this.